Hey, what is up, everybody? I am here with Anita Morin, and we are going to be talking TikTok and YouTube. And it's really exciting because Anita is just killing it on those platforms. So I'm really excited. Honestly, YouTube I'm pretty familiar with. I've been on YouTube for a long time, but TikTok, it's all brand new. So I'm really excited, Anita, to talk about this stuff. Welcome.
Oh,
Thanks for
I'm
coming.
so glad to be here. Thank you so much for having me. I think both of these platforms are going to be helpful to any business, and they both can be positioned in unique ways depending on what you're looking to do and who your target audience is.
So let's do this. Give us a little bit of background about you, just so we know where you're coming from, what your expertise is, just so we know a little bit more about Anita. Tell us about yourself.
Sure. Well, I started my business in 2016 after having my son, and I really saw a need for video marketing. While I was in college, part of how I paid my tuition was being a beauty influencer on YouTube. And I know that sounds silly because I don't wear a lot of makeup now, but what that did was open me up to the understanding of the power of video and building a social media following. And so when I got into the online space, I really saw that people needed a lot of help with understanding not just that video is important, but how to make effective videos, how to have great video editing, how to then use strategy to use those videos to the best of the ability. And then I also help people repurpose their content to make it go a little bit further. So my offers have kind of expanded as I've seen that my clients needed it.
Awesome. And then you and I were having just a quick conversation. Well, so, okay, first of all, weren't you, before you started doing YouTube and started your own business, weren't you in healthcare? Wasn't that what you were
So
doing?
I'm a trained physician assistant. And yep, I got my master's, and that's actually when I stopped doing beauty videos, because at the time, I'm 22, 23, and I'm thinking, oh, my patients don't need to see me putting on mascara. But
Yeah.
now my patients can see me talking about marketing, and I don't care.
Very
So
cool. And I think I love that story, because I think that's a lot of our story. It's like it took us a little bit to figure out what we wanted to do.
yeah.
And digital marketing, I mean, it's been around now for, what, a decade, longer than that?
Yeah.
Maybe 20 years, really, when it started hitting. But it's like, it's still kind of new. And like, we still talk to people and they don't know, they think when you're a digital marketer, they think you just lays around all day, which isn't true. But
Oh, not at all.
so it's a cool thing to see your journey, because I think it mirrors a lot of our journeys, right, as a community.
And I think one thing that I would just say, for people who are watching this and maybe you're still in your job, or you're trying to think about what it looks like to branch out, know that I used to think you had to choose, right? One thing or another. But if there's anything I've learned, is that you can have it all. You just decide how much. So I still work about 4 days a month in a clinic, because I do love taking care of people. And so that's how much I wanted to devote to that. My main thing is being home with my 3-year-old. I spend most of my time doing that. And my business is what allows that to happen. So keep in mind, you can be flexible and what it is you want and how you want it.
That's really cool. That's really cool. And I love that, because I know that you're super successful with this. So it's I think sometimes we feel like, oh, they're just saying that, but it's like, it's true. It's your choice, right? Like, you really have built your business the way you want it to be. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So right before we went live, you and I were talking about, is this the right time to market? Obviously, with all the coronavirus scare going on and everything. And I loved your thoughts on it. So let's dive into that question. Like, is now the right time to market? Should we be marketing? Should we be sitting still? What would you say we should be doing?
Yes. So I think there's a couple of things we need to understand when it comes to marketing and business. And it comes down to your key understanding of the place of marketing in your business. So if you think marketing is optional, then you're the person who's probably asking the question, should I be marketing? But if you think it's not optional and you know this is a key part of your business, then your real question needs to be, the better question needs to be, how do I market in this sort of time? And how our marketing comes across needs to be really honest. So with my marketing, I'm looking at being really honest to meet the people who right now might be nervous about what's going on, and saying, listen, 1, I'm not quitting. 2, here's how I'm opening up my calendar and my space to help you. I'm offering to jump on free calls with people who literally have no idea how to use the internet. I'm willing to jump on free calls with people who feel panicked and they can't think of what the next step in their business is. Okay, let's chat for 10 seconds and figure out what it is that you need to do. Because we need to keep moving. And then for other people, I've opened up space to be able to take on some of the projects they might have been DIYing up until now. Because really, to continue to market in this space needs to be really thoughtful about your ideal client and what they are going through. What are their current needs right now?
Yeah, I love that a lot. And I think, something I've been saying is that the small business community is the backbone of the economy. And if we stop, everyone suffers. And so it's really important, not just for our own personal pocketbooks, but for the good of the people, right? Like, I know that's kind of weird to say, but for the good of the people, we need to make sure that we keep moving forward and keep making sales. And I'm still selling stuff. I'm still marketing. And I got to tell you, nobody has said, how dare you? How dare you do this? Most people are like, yeah, let's keep moving forward. Let's keep doing this. So I love that thought.
One quote that's kind of floating around the internet right now is Mr. Rogers, right? And he says, when tough things happen, look for the helpers. If you really have a business that is meant to help your ideal client and you've really been thoughtful about what they need, then you are a helper and they might need you now more than they ever did. So instead of getting more quiet, let's get louder.
Yeah. And I love that, because what I've been telling people to do is, right now is the perfect time to say, ask yourself this question: how can I more deeply serve my audience? How can I more deeply serve my potential clients? And whatever the answer is, that's what that's going to lead you to the perfect, storm in marketing during this unique situation.
Absolutely.
Now I can say that that's ratified by Mr. Rogers. I can say that that's his stamp of approval. So I'm glad.
Absolutely. Everybody loves Mr. Rogers.
Right? Exactly. Okay, so let's dive into TikTok. So break down, for people like me, I've downloaded TikTok and gotten on it, but I didn't really stay much longer than that one visit. So, I'm assuming that a lot of people are in the same boat as me. So tell us, why should we care about TikTok? What is it all about?
Sure. So I specifically use TikTok for my business. So the point of my TikTok account is not to be personal. It is completely part of my marketing strategy. And what I do is I take TikTok trends and I turn them into videos that I make for TikTok. I do this because it allows me to be relatable. And those videos, I actually repost them on other platforms for them to be kind of attention getting. So to give you an example, I posted a TikTok video onto LinkedIn. And I went from 200 connections to 500 in 3 days, because it's not typically a place where you put that kind of content onto LinkedIn. But I did that because that was what I thought would differentiate me from all of the social media posts that I had been posting, and would be relatable. I try to keep it funny. My husband says that some of them are a little bit ridiculous looking, but I do it on purpose because I have people reach out to me and say, I saw your TikTok video. And so I had to reach out and chat with you. And that's brought me clients, not only off the platform, but on. It's also helped me with my marketing on other places because it's the same aspect ratio as Facebook and Instagram stories. And from the TikTok app, you can actually post to your stories just by pressing 2 buttons or 2 options on the screen. And that saves me a lot of time and also allows people to watch me. So I have people who consistently watch my Instagram stories for my TikTok videos because they think they're funny, right? But all of them have a message to continue to convey what it is I want my audience to know, but it's presented in a whimsical way.
Awesome. So how do you connect that then? So first of all, Sela is blowing us up saying that she loves TikTok right now. Cat videos for life.
Yes, there's some great things on there.
So how do you connect your brand to this humor side of the videos? Is there a
You have to be really niche in what you're talking about. So the
Okay.
TikToks that the platforms that really do well are becoming really niche in a topic. You can find people in all sorts of niches and particular brands of healthcare and marketing, as well as in other forms like product-based, where they're continuing to show the type of content. For me, one of the first videos I had that seemed to do well, I posted it like my third or fourth video, and I opened the app the next day and it had like 1,000 views, and I was like, what just happened? And all it was a video of me talking about doing social media, and the sound was just saying yep, nope, and I put words on the screen to define what it was that I did. No, I don't think you can post without a plan. Yes, I can do it for you. No, I don't think that you can wing it. Yes, I can repurpose your content, right? The same things that I'm saying all the time in my videos, but doing it in this video where I didn't talk at all, and I'm just kind of being like, no, yeah, over and over again, got a bunch of views, and I actually had 3 different people reach out and book calls for me just from that video.
Interesting. So it's about taking what is, your brand and just presenting it in a more creative, fun kind of way. It's just kind of, well, I'm viewing it as like just tapping into that, silly side, or not necessarily silly, but like, creative and fun side of your brand.
And some videos that you make can be a little bit more serious. I have made some that talk about the statistics of video marketing and like the importance of that for the education piece. Because remember, people watch videos to be educated, to be entertained, and to be inspired. Right. So you want to kind of hit on those 3 different ways. You've seen that video. Awesome. So yeah, it's just really a great opportunity for me to be able to share with new people and also to connect with others. I've also created videos that do take the funny. So there was one I recently created that had like the sound of somebody laughing, like a man's voice. And then it said the phrase, let me laugh. Oh, you were serious. Let me laugh even harder. And they laughed again. And so what I put on the screen at the beginning of that video was, for those of you who don't think video marketing is important, and I'm laughing, oh, you were serious. Let me laugh even harder, right? Because I know video marketing in 2020, if you're not using video, you're behind. Right. So we have to be doing it. It's okay if you're behind, but we've got to shift and really take on what is the preferred form of communication on every platform.
Yeah, and that's so true. Like I hit Facebook Live, obviously that's what we're doing right now, very hard, because every platform video is outperforming everything else. I think it's good to have a good mix, but yeah, you've got to get on video. You got to embrace that.
Yeah.
Okay, so cool. So how, if I want to get started with TikTok, or if I want to dive into it, what are the essentials I need to know? I mean, aside from contact you and get you to do it, like what are the essentials I need to know?
Sure. Yes, I do TikTok for people. But one of the things that I also help people do is understand how to work the platform. So you have 2 options for video, 15 and 60 seconds. Statistically, the 15-second videos are going to get a lot more view. So until you have a good amount of followers, I would stick mainly to 15 seconds, right? Remember, people have the attention of a goldfish at this point. We've got to keep the screen moving, and you want to keep it entertaining. Another thing I would say that's really important is make sure you have good lighting, because we know if you are making your video in the dark, people aren't going to watch that. And you don't have to do anything fancy. Even we're going to talk about YouTube at some point. Like, I've got a great window right here, right in front. Just use that to make your video, because you don't, it just needs to have good lighting. Other things that are important is you're doing a lip sync. Try to be sort of on task with the words, right? I see sometimes that people are really off, and people get more focused on the mistake that you made instead of the point you're making with the video. Now, if you go through my TikTok channel, do I have some where I'm not super great at it? Sure, I was learning, right? But when the ultimate thing to understand with TikTok is jump in, start creating videos, because the more that you're able to do that, the better you're going to get. And you're going to get more comfortable, and other people who come to follow you are going to see, oh, that's where she started, and this is how her videos are now. It's going to inspire them to get started.
So TikTok, it seems to me this is like, it's growing so fast. It seems to me that this is like the moment to be it's like a land grab, right? Where it's like those that get on early and really get those followers coming in are going to have a huge advantage over those that wait a year or wait,
Sure.
even a few months. So very, very cool. So yeah, let's shift on that from TikTok to YouTube. So talk to us
Sure.
about YouTube's a much more established platform, but why should we be caring about YouTube? Because there's some people still not on YouTube, not using it. So what do you think
Sure.
about that?
So YouTube is probably the biggest thing I do for my clients because I offer done for you service. And what I share with them is that you have the opportunity to build an evergreen lead generation machine that is search based. So I'm going to tease you just a little bit quick. This live video right now is great. And there might be a few people who watch the replay. But 3, 6, 9 months from now, this video isn't popping up on search, right? And we know that. We bank on things that we're putting on social media to have what's called planned obsolescence. But the things that you're putting on YouTube are actually banked within the search file, meaning the same video that you spend time creating now can bring new leads to your business 3, 6, 9 months, a year, 2, 3 years from now, and longer. And so you want to really focus on obviously making evergreen content that fits with that. But also know that when you're making those YouTube videos, you can then kind of repurpose that content onto your social media, meaning taking clips of those videos or maybe sharing some of what you said in that video as a social media copy with a graphic. That's going to help that content go a little bit further. Because we have the same messages we need to tell our audience over and over again, right? They need to hear it from us over and over again in different packages. So that would be really like my understanding of why YouTube is powerful. For me, being consistent on YouTube has been the game changer to my business, honestly.
Very cool. Yeah, I think that so you hit on a couple things. One, that one of the things I see all the time that people fail with is that we get tired of our own message, and so we're constantly switching it up. And so you got to stick with the same message and just get better at saying it over and over again, saying it the 100th time like it's the first time, right? Because your audience, they don't hear it as often as you do. So I love this idea of like, you can repurpose your content both on YouTube and on other places. And then I remember the chat you and I had before this one. Something you said to me that really stood out to me along the same lines was because I kill it with Facebook Live videos. Like I make sales, all the time. And you said something like, well, that's great. But like with YouTube, what did you say? You said your goal is to beat the algorithm. So you just get it on there and then you just have to beat the algorithm and rank it better. And I was like, oh my goodness. Like that was a big mind shift for me because then it's like, just what you said, and you just said it in a different way, but it just hit me of like, yeah, you're right. Like I might kill it with these live videos, but they do go away. And then if you've got something on YouTube though, you just tweak it and tweak it and tweak it until you've got it to where it's performing really, really well. And that's an awesome lead gen for you.
Yeah. So just to give you an idea, right now I have 202 subscribers on YouTube. And most people would say, okay, well, that's not like a huge channel. So like, how can YouTube be a game changer for your business? But the point of YouTube for me is building these billboards on the internet. So just like if you think about, I'm driving down the road and I see a billboard, the things that I'm going to put on a billboard on the street, right, is going to be what I do, an eye-catching picture, and a call to action. Call this number, visit this website. Right. And so the same thing is going to be true in your YouTube video. So there's key ways that I script those videos for retention and conversion, as well as how I position those videos. So while YouTube has not paid me a penny in AdSense because I only have 202 subscribers, that YouTube channel has made thousands of dollars by connecting me to my ideal clients, what they need, and establishing authority and what it is that I do, building like, know, and trust factor, and helping them to see that I do know what I'm talking about. My videos have outranked some bigger names of people that you might know, but I care less about number of subscribers and the name of the person I outrank, but more about, am I higher on the search factor? Because if I'm high on search, when you're looking for something related to what I do, if you find me, like me, subscribe, and then start trusting me, right? We've built a relationship without even getting on the phone yet. And so that's really what my channel has done because I'm no longer really having people reach out and say, hey, can you send me your portfolio and proof that you know what you're doing? I'm having them say, hey, I saw your YouTube video and I need you to help me with X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, very cool. And I love that if you combine what you just said with that, with the repurposing content. I've had a lot of success with my YouTube channel, also not a lot of subscribers, re-putting those videos onto LinkedIn, and then people go from LinkedIn to YouTube, watch a bunch of videos, and then come back to LinkedIn and they're like, hey, I just watched these videos. What, tell me what you do. Like it's great to see you can really connect all of your digital platforms through YouTube. I feel like it's a great hub to kind of connect everything together.
Yeah. And ultimately with your YouTube videos, right, you're going to want to make sure that you're understanding the point of that video. Yes, I want to engage, inspire, educate, and entertain. But really the point of my YouTube videos is to get you onto my email list so that before I do anything, teach you anything, I hook you into my video, I offer you to join my email list, and then I tell you who I am and what I do and all the things I have to share. Because ultimately, if you only watch the first minute of my video and you click off, you've at least been invited to get more free information. It's from there that I can connect you to my other social media channels. I can email you directly. We can start a conversation and I can learn what it is you need and how I can best help you. And if I'm not best for you, right, I then can know how I can direct you to somebody else who is helpful. Because part of how we really grow our businesses in the best way is collaboration. It's letting people know, listen, like I know great people I can connect you to. I'm always willing to do that as a business owner.
Yeah, I feel like that's a writer downer, and I'm writing it down. Is this because it also connected to what you're saying about TikTok, where it's like stick with those 15-second videos because they've got the attention span of goldfish. It's the same with your YouTube video content in general, right? Making sure you understand what the point is and hitting it very first thing. Like lots of people will wait until like the end of the video to be like, especially with like Facebook Lives. In the video, okay, now like and comment, and also if you want something, send me this thing or join this group or whatever. It's like you should have been doing that at the very beginning. And with live video, like you need to be taking breaks intermittently because people are hopping on and off. So it's like understanding what is your point and making sure that you're putting that front and center for yourself. That's what I'm taking away. The
same is also true for those of you who podcast. So I do edit and manage podcasts as part of what I do for some of my clients. And I noticed that there were a whole lot of podcasts out there where they were talking 30, 40 minutes. And at the very end, they were announcing their huge project that they're doing, their membership that they absolutely want you to join. That's the lifeline of their business. And this is their main marketing strategy is their podcast. Not everybody's listening 30, 40 minutes, right? I have a 3-year-old. I might listen to your podcast and then 15 minutes in, the whole world is upside down and I might forget to come back to that episode. So it is okay to tease and share at the beginning, in the middle, at the end, what it is you want them to say. And sometimes it's not giving them the whole spiel. It's saying, if you want more information, go to this link. I'm going to share more about that at the end. Just to tease that there is more. But if you don't have time for that, here's the information for you.
And I think what's coming up for me is that this goes back to what you were saying about you either think marketing's good or not, right? Like, because I think that there's this huge trend for a long time, of these webinars where it's like you get on the webinar and like it's almost like a secret that there's going to be a pitch at the end. You know what I mean? And it's like we're teaching, and then suddenly there's a pitch. It's like I think people are so sick of that model versus if you just come on and you're like, hey, you know what? If you're, this is what I'm going to teach you, and this is what I'm going to pitch. And if you are offended by the pitch, please get off now. And because this is what's going to happen. And you're just upfront with it. One is that lots of people who are interested and can only stay for the first little bit, like you were saying, they get to see it, they get to experience it. And then like you're also not trying to pull a bait and switch. You're trying to be like just honest, And it's like what you're saying. If you either think marketing is good or you don't, and you've got to, if you want your business to succeed, you've got to embrace marketing and sales. It's got to be something that is like really ingrained in your business. My mentor has said to me before that, man, how did he phrase it? Something along the lines of, it doesn't matter what business you're in, everyone should be building a sales business. And I think that's 100% true. It's the same with your marketing too. Everyone should be building a sales and marketing business. It's just the way it works.
I do think back to the webinar, all of your video, people can tell whether or not you're being honest and genuine, whether or not you really want to help, because our communication is going to come from not just what we're saying, which could happen in text, but also our body language, right?
Yeah.
So you can understand when you watch my YouTube videos, you can see I'm excited about what I'm talking about, like genuinely excited, because I know what these things can do for people's businesses. And I do have a webinar that I do that does lead to a course that I teach. And in that webinar, I tell them at the beginning, listen, this isn't going to be 2 hours. It's going to be less than 1. At the end, I'm going to spend 5 minutes telling you about something, but I want you to get a piece of paper out because I'm going to teach you real things. Like, this isn't one of those where you leave and you're not sure where your hour went. And at the end, I get a message from almost every single person that tunes in and says, this is the best webinar I've ever seen. And do they all buy my program? No, but did they learn something? Yes, right? And that's my key. I just provided value to them for free, and they will remember that.
Yeah. And so it's in implementation that people win. So it doesn't matter how much you give away, it's in the implementation. So they still have, it's almost like the more you give away, it whets their appetite to purchase, if we're being honest, right? Like it just drives them more and more and more to want to work with you.
Sure. And ultimately, I want people to succeed. I genuinely want your business to be what it is you wanted for your family, for your needs.
Yeah.
And so if that means that you just use my free content, okay. And if that means that you dive into working with me, okay too, right? Whatever it is that's going to help you, I'm genuinely there for that. So
awesome. I love that. Okay, so let's we're running out of time, so let's wrap up with, like, if someone wants to get started with YouTube, what should be their first steps? What should they be doing?
Yeah, so the biggest questions I get, what camera do I need to use? The one you have, okay? That's the best one. The next thing I get, people ask me about the lighting. The window works just fine. All of your favorite—
I've got a window in front of me, by the way. That's what I use.
All of your favorite business people who started on YouTube, most of them started with their phone on a stack of books in front of a window, okay? And I purposely film my YouTube videos with my phone to show you it is possible to do. Even though I do have a nice camera, that's what I choose to do because it's part of how I share what you can do. Other things that are really important, you need to think with YouTube, not what you want to title your video. You need to think about what is your ideal client typing into search, so that you can be found on the other end of that search. So you might have a great video that you've done talking about perfectionism. Nobody's typing in perfectionism. They are typing in things like, what do I do when I feel like I'm not enough? How do I get a better self-esteem? How do I grow in understanding what it is that I possibly can do? Nobody is typing in regenerative marketing framework. That's what I teach, right? They are typing in, what is content repurposing? Why should you repurpose your content? So these are titles of my videos. And then the next thing I think that's important is to understand there is a strategy to getting those videos seen. It's not just about your video. It's all the little things like what your file name is, what your description is, what your title is, tags, keywords, etc. So if you're putting up videos and they're getting no views, we can change just those key things without you refilming and see growth in your channel. And I do offer that. So if you need help with that, feel free to reach out.
Very cool. So if they do want to reach out, where do they find you?
Sure. So you can always find me here on Facebook. My business page is FDS Creatives. I'm also FDS Creatives on TikTok and on YouTube. You're also welcome to email me. And when we're finished, I'm going to drop 2 links for you. If you're interested in getting started on YouTube or TikTok, I have 2 free guides that just give you information, key tips. It's going to give you the top tips for both on getting started. And those will be really beneficial for you. Obviously, my info is there as well.
Awesome. And are you just gonna put that in the comments of this video?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Awesome. You're saving me some work too. I don't mind that. Thanks. I don't I don't have to do anything for that. Cool. Yeah. And I put FDS Creatives in the comments as well if you want to .com, right?
Yep.
Looks like I did it right. Yeah.
You did.
So you can just click there and go visit her. Anita, thanks so much for coming. I really appreciate this. You dropped some serious knowledge, and I think you gave us some real food for thought with both TikTok and YouTube. So thanks.
Oh, my pleasure. I wish you guys all the best in your health and in your business. And I feel free to reach out, even if you just have questions. I'm here to help.
Awesome.